Hello, I'm Matt Broughton, and today I'm speaking with Shea, the CMO at Strive Gaming. Jamie, thanks very much for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me on.
It's really good to have you here. So I wonder if perhaps you could start by telling us a bit more about Strive and why it's been built specifically for the North American market.
I would love to. One of the biggest issues that the gaming industry has run into with PASPA being repealed in 2018 was that a lot of the product that was brought from overseas, was brought from Europe, and wasn't really specifically built for the North American market. And so that's something that Strive did. Strive came in and said, we want to build something that is specific to the regulations, the regulatory requirements, to how the customer wants it to look and feel, and how the customer wants to navigate so that it has, that they have the greatest customer experience, the greatest customer journey. So that there was a lot of deep thought into that to make sure that whatever we were putting out there was something that was specific to the audience. And I think that instead of bending it to an audience, we made it where it was from the ground up for that audience.
So you were previously at DraftKings. What attracted you to join a startup, and more importantly, how are you enjoying the journey so far?
So for me, people don't realize that when I started with DraftKings, it was a startup. So, there's something to that startup mentality of entrepreneurship and just, everybody boots on the ground, everybody working really hard. Nobody really needs to stay in their lane because all lanes need to be taken care of. Everything needs to be filled. And it gives you such a great opportunity to see another side of a piece that, when you're in a large corporation that maybe you don't get to see because, just because that's not your lane. But since I joined DraftKings, I think when I left, they were up to 3,500 employees. So, they definitely have grown. And then what attracted me to Strive was that they were doing something that no one else was really doing. And that was catering to the US market, catering to that US customer who has a very instilled idea of what sports betting should be, has a very instilled idea of what iGaming should be, and they want to see it the way that they want to see it. And so for me, going over to Strive was a no-brainer because they were solving all the problems that the operators, had been facing. Myself as an operator at DraftKings, I was facing so many different issues that, having Strive, it's just a huge advantage for any of our partners. So I think that, we say, going from DraftKings to a startup, Strive isn't a startup anymore. We have over 60 employees. We have 3 offices in Vancouver, in the UK, and Malta. We have an office in Las Vegas. So, we've really surpassed that startup moniker, but we are, still at that, boots on the ground, everybody involved, everybody collaborating, talking about the decisions. So it's just a really good place to be in. It's a frenetic pace with the startup, right? But it's so rewarding because you're building something how you would want it to be built. And I've been in this industry for so long that, I've experienced the good, the bad, what works, what doesn't work. I think I have strong opinions anyway, but I think I have good opinions that we can put out there and really use to make sure that the product is what it should be. When I was talking about leaving DraftKings and then talking to Strive about coming over, one of the things that impressed me the most was that I felt like the founders had really gone in and said, what problems do we need to fix? Where are there gaps in the industry, in this platform, in the PAM space, which, PAM is not the sexiest of all the things going on in the sportsbook world and the iGaming world, but it is one of the most necessary. It allows you to make sure that you're bonusing correctly, that you're spending efficiently, that you know the information about your players, and that you're giving them, the experiences that they want. So for me, that's what was really attractive, was that all those things that frustrated me when I was on the operator side, we were solving for. And I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to be a part of that solve because, I know what it felt like. I know when I was like, oh, why can't I get this fixed? Or why can't I make this happen? And then, here it is. We've solved for those. And we're constantly thinking about, like, when they brought me in, one of the things was to look at it and say, pick it apart and say, what would drive me crazy? Why? And I did. I said, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? But it was already pretty awesome. And so we're just innovating and making it better every day.
Well, to pick up on that, can you tell me what is it that you would like to change about the sports betting and iGaming sector?
The biggest part for me that I would like to change is that people don't understand betting. They don't understand the terminology. They don't understand where to find the bets, how to make a bet. As we go into more and more states, the operators come in, they have the opportunity to have a redo. When they went into Ohio, they could do it differently than from how they went into New Jersey because of the learnings that they have. But you have to remember, just like the operator has a redo, this is a whole fresh start for this whole sector that hasn't been allowed to game before. So the onus is on us to make sure that they understand exactly what the betting opportunities are. I've sat down with people and gone through apps, different companies' apps, and said, did you know that you could live wager over here? What's that? How does that work? And I show them, and then they love it and they really enjoy it. And I think that that's an important piece that operators are trying so hard and content providers are trying so hard to give as much as they possibly can to a customer to make it so enjoyable, to give them that opportunity to engage with the sport and make it, more interesting, more exciting. And then, it gets kind of lost in translation because they don't really know, how to make those wagers. They're excited that they're there, but then they don't exactly understand how to use these tools that are now available to them. So if I could change anything, I would say that I would like to have a better educated betting public. I would also say that, when it comes to the responsible gaming piece, I don't think that it's something that I think we need to change. I think it's something that we need to continually evolve and be aware of and really think about the customer and how to keep the customer safe, to constantly be innovating in that space because, at the end of the day, everybody wants this to be for fun, for entertainment. No one wants to see anybody spending more than they should, causing this to be a poor life decision. So, just to keep evolving that and to continue to work to do what's best for our customers.
Well, that's great. Well, it's really, really superb to speak to you today. Thanks for taking us through that, and thanks very much for your time today.
Thank you so much.
I'm Matt Broughton for Game On.